came in just a little late. We did do section one to get ourselves moving, but now we're going to go on to our sort of uh, our special event for today. All right. So I'm going to introduce our presenter, our guest instructor. This is Nancy Lucero, and I will be highlighting her in a moment. So Nancy, you could wave from the little box, but she'll be up big in a moment. Now, anybody who's in our school, Nancy does not need an introduction for because Nancy's sort of everywhere. Nancy is a co-owner and co-administrator of the school and has been a force in moving us forward in this time of the pandemic with our virtual classes. She is also an instructor at the Academy. Now, the Academy is part of the Yang Family Association. The association is an umbrella organization that's international, and there are a variety of Academy instructors, which is a very high level of instruction, and Nancy is one of those. She's also obviously our senior instructor here at the school, and many of us have studied with her for a number of years. She's brought me along. I can't even tell you the difference between when I started with Nancy and now. So we are really pleased to have her here today. And the topic is the 13 postures. Now, those of you who are new, you're going to think, well, I don't know anything about this, and why should I even be here at a lecture? But in fact, you do know something about it. Because from the beginning of learning the form, we've been talking about different ways we communicate energy with our body. And you're going to recognize a lot of these words, and Nancy's going to help you understand them a lot more. Some of them will be new, but many of them you will know. All right? So without further ado, I'm going to highlight. I have to remove me as the spotlight. Let's see. Let's see how I do that. Okay, I'm going to remove me. And I'm going to spotlight Nancy. And I hope, Rita, that you have started the recording, but if you have not, oh, I see she has. See, I can always count on Rita. I always count. That's why Rita does it, not me. I forget all the time. All right? All right, Nancy, you have got the floor, and I'm going to turn off my mic. So give me just a moment to do that, and then you are on.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I'm just coming over here to change my view to gallery. Okay, now I can see everybody. Welcome, everybody. Very nice practice. I love watching people do Tai Chi, so thank you for that gift. I appreciate that. I would like to congratulate all of you on completing the first section of the Yang Family Traditional Form. As you well know, it's a challenging feat to delve into Tai Chi, and you guys were very lucky to have an exceptional instructor and someone also Rita who led practices for you guys. So anyway, they gave you a good head start on your journey in Tai Chi. So I want to congratulate you for the accomplishment. Now, let me ask you a question. And, for those of you that want, you can be on camera or not. It's totally up to you. If you'd like to unmute yourself, you're welcome to do so. This is going to be an interactive presentation. All right. Let me ask you this. How many of you have seen my presentation before? Okay. All right, good. Sharon, did you raise your hand? No? Okay. All right. So let me ask you a question. What are the 13 or what is the 13 postures? No. Anybody like to take a guess? What are the 13 postures? What is it?
Well, is it the ones that we've gone through on the section one?
Well, this is Elizabeth, right? That's part of it, Elizabeth. Absolutely. How many of you know the 13 postures? Okay, some of you are shaking your head no. All right. This is why I love doing this presentation. I love to do this presentation for people who have just learned and completed the first section, because this is kind of going to bring everything home to you. All right, hopefully. All right. So why is it named the 13 postures? Well, the 13 postures is the original name of Tai Chi before it had any name associated with it. It was known as the 13 postures. Now, so what are the 13 postures? Anybody know? I see Rebecca's thinking. Okay, so let me do this. The 13 postures are comprised of 8 energies and 5 steps. Okay, so given that information, we know that the 13 postures are comprised of 8 energies and 5 steps, and it's the original name of Tai Chi Chuan. So what are the 8 energies and what are the 5 steps?
Push,
Ward off.
Push, ward off, anyone else?
is there a pull?
Okay, we can say grab
Grab.
and pull.
Punch.
I'm sorry?
A punch.
Punch is going to come under, punch is not really identified, but we'll kind of save that for later. Janelle, is it Janelle or
Janelle.
Janelle? Okay, all right. So we have push, ward off, grab and pull. What else? What other energies comprise the 8 energies?
Excuse me, Nancy. I'm going to ask, after someone asks a question, to mute again because we are getting some feedback in our sound. So
Okay.
we would absolutely love you to unmute and ask question. We'll work through that at that time, but then when you're done, remute. Thanks.
Thank you, Judy. Okay, anybody else have a guess? We have, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 2, 4, 5 more. 5 more energies. Go ahead, Sharon.
Roll back.
Oh, that's one. Okay, any more?
Press.
Carry.
Press. I'm sorry?
Single whip.
Okay,
Press.
okay, we have press.
Oh, sorry.
How about single whip? No?
No, well, we'll get to that one later, Rebecca.
What about the one with the bird that looks like this?
Okay, that's a hook hand. So no, we're thinking about energy.
How about the kicks?
Okay, kicking can be an energy, yes, but it's not identified in the 8 energies. So we have ward off, roll back, press, press and push, grab and pull. Anything else?
Turn.
Turn.
Turn. Okay, that's not necessarily an energy, but you know, that's a good guess. Okay, so I want you to kind of journey with me in the form. All right, and I know in the beginning it can be rather challenging because you're trying to figure out what your body's doing. What are my feet doing? What are my arms doing? Where am I looking? You know, what's the name of this movement? Excuse me. And then I got to move this foot to go there, and I got to do this with this foot, and then this arm does this, and that arm does this. Body's turning this way, looking this direction. And okay, I'm sorry, but I don't even remember what the name of this movement is. I mean, I could do it, but I don't remember. So travel with me through the form. All right. So we've got ward off, and then we have roll back. We have press and push. Next movement we have is single whip. So what's the first thing we do? We shift back and we flatten our hands to connect, right? And then we grab and pull. What's the next movement after single whip?
Raise hands.
All right, so in doing raise hands, anybody remember what Judy said you were doing? What's the intention of raise hands and step forward?
Strike. Strike.
Okay, strike with the intent to do what?
Pull down.
Okay, we have pull.
It's
Split energy.
Oh, well, that's a good one. Split. So the intention of raise hands and step forward is to break somebody's arm. All right. Okay, I understand. We don't really want to think about those things because, Tai Chi's like this nice, beautiful, graceful, soft, lovely dance thing. But, there is some meaning behind what it is that we're doing. Okay. So we have raise hands and step forward. We also have hand strums, the lute, that are split energies. All right. So we have ward off, roll back, press, push, grab and pull, split. All right, what's the next movement after raise hands and step forward?
White crane.
That's a good one. White crane spreads its wings. All right, in white crane spreads its wings, before you get to white crane wings, what is it that we're doing?
Shoulder strike.
Oh my goodness, that's a good one. Shoulder strike. Shoulder energy. All right. Now, this last one is kind of hidden. All right. It's kind of hidden. However, if you look at the movement parry, block, and punch, what could you be doing with parry, block, and punch with your right arm when it has a fist? So you're going like this, and then you come up, and then you go like this, right? What can you be doing with this right arm as it's coming to your hip?
You're striking somebody with your forearm or your elbow part.
It's an elbow. Very good. It's
oh
elbow.
in the back.
So these are the 8 energies we're working with. Ward off, roll back, press, push, grab and pull, split, shoulder energy, elbow energy. You know these things, okay? You may know it without knowing it. So these are the 8 energies that we're working with, okay? Now we have 5 steps. So what's the first step that you think we might have? How are we moving?
Word
We're
of
standing
rest.
still.
We're
Bow
standing
stance.
still?
Standing still.
Okay. All right. And when, let's say, for instance, you're standing still, it prepare. And then
And
when
then
you
go to ward off.
Word
and
of
when you
rest.
go to ward off,
Bow stance.
okay, you can think of your,
Turn.
but
Step forward.
we are stepping forward. So we have forward,
Back.
we have back.
Sideways.
Okay, when you say,
Cloud hands. Cloud hands, I'm thinking of.
okay, so if you were to look at a clock or a compass, we have north, south, north and south, then what would we have?
East
Left.
and west.
Left
East
forward.
and west. Okay, now what directions are they from north?
Turn right and turn left.
Okay, we say look left, gaze right. They kind of mean the same thing. All right, then we have one left. What must you always make sure you're doing?
Gazing, looking,
Okay, gazing and looking, that's, we've covered that here. But what
Balance.
balance? Okay, so we must always stay centered. Okay, so these are the 13 postures. There are 8 energies and 5 steps. The 8 energies, if you go through the form, ward off, roll back, press, push, single whip, grab and pull, raise hands, split. We also have hand strums the lute, that's split. White crane spreads its wings, we move into shoulder energy. Then when we go into parry, block, and punch with the elbow, anytime you make a fist and you go like this, you can actually strike somebody with your elbow. Sorry, I'm really kind of short, so I'm sorry you can't really see me too well. But anyway, so shoulder strike and elbow energies, okay? 5 steps. We move forward, we move backward, we look to the left, we look to the right, while always maintaining our center. Okay, so this is what you've been working on in the whole first section. And the first section is so important because it covers everything that you need to know about Tai Chi in the first section. That's why we say this first section gives you the foundation that you need moving forward, going into the second and the third section. Okay, so it's important that you know what the 13 postures are. And I'm going to go back to my original question, and hopefully you can remember what I said. Why is it called the 13 postures?
Because it was the original name of Tai Chi.
Yeah, Tai Chi, yeah.
Exactly right. That's the original name of Tai Chi Chuan. It was called the 13 postures. Then we started to have family names: Chen family, Yang family, Wu house, Wu family, Sun style. Okay, so and then there's other ones that Li and things like that. Different family styles, but the 5 pearls that represent China are Chen, Yang, Wu Hao, Wu, and Sun style or Sun style. All right. So this is important information for you to know. This is important information for you to realize what it is that you've accomplished in this first section. Okay. So everything going forward now, I anticipate all or most of you are going to be moving forward into the second section. Okay. And by doing so, you're taking all this with you. Now, you're going to be learning some new movements. However, these 8 energies you've already covered. All right. So we can say, Michelle, that kicking, it could be like a push, a push energy, or because we are actually moving somebody away from our body.
Is it also a split energy because your hands are going out?
Our hands are going out to kind of separate somebody, to kind of get control while we kick at them.
But it's not a split?
It's not considered a split. However,
Okay.
what I will say, because a couple of you mentioned single whip, all right? Single whip, actually, it has multiple opponents. So when you first come around and, we're swinging this way, we're grabbing and pulling this way, okay, this is one opponent. But the moment you make your hook hand, let's see, your hook hand and then you come around and I'm too close. And you go like this, all right? You can actually go both directions. And this can be a split. Mhm. So the intention of split is to what?
strike like this.
When you use split energy, and I'll tell you, uh, probably all of you use this at least once a week. I know this to be true. At least once a week. Why? Because I know you guys get junk mail. I get junk mail. Okay. What do you do with that junk mail?
Just
You rip
Throw
it.
it away.
Okay. All right, Rebecca. Yes, we throw it in the trash. But usually for me, before I throw it in the trash, I rip it apart. Right? That's split. Split energies intention is to make one thing become two things. So when we get an elbow, our intention now is to you know break that elbow so that this part of the arm and this part of the arm, well, they're already two separate things, but they're no longer connected to this because we broke it. Okay. So split energy, the intention of split energy is to break, is to split something in two. Okay. Uh, shoulder energy and elbow energy, we say you have to be like within uh, like 6 to 8 inches from somebody in order for this to work. But with elbow energy, we have a little bit more of a range because we can draw our elbow back like this.
And what were the moves for those two, please?
Shoulder
Yeah.
energy is white crane spreads its wings.
Okay.
Okay. So when we're like this and we rotate and we circle down and when we close the arms and we step, then as we move forward and we turn our body, this shows the shoulder strike. This turn shows the shoulder strike without showing the shoulder strike. Okay.
Okay.
In the past, they did the shoulder strike like they would dip down and then they would strike with the shoulder, hit with the shoulder. All right. So because Yang Family Tai Chi is known for its slow, even, graceful, large circular movements, uh, we don't show things just like kicking and punching. And I know oftentimes when us ladies we get to parry, block, and punch, it's a very exciting time because we don't normally punch people, not like the guys. Okay, um, uh, Ronald, I see you here. You're representing our guys. So. Okay, and Kathy Smith looks like not Kathy Smith, but anyway, so when we get to do punching and kicking, it's kind of an exciting time because we don't normally do those things. So we don't want to express it like parry, block, and then punch, punch. Okay, we're not going to show it like this. We kind of show it nice and slow and even because that's the characteristic of this family style.
Is brush knee an elbow move?
Brush knee is not necessarily an elbow move. Brush knee, what brush knee is, it's deflect, it's connecting, it's deflecting, and it's hitting, it's striking. We can either strike or we can either push somebody away.
Okay.
So with a strike, we can say that's kind of almost like a split energy. With punching or with striking, if any of you ever have to strike someone, I want you to kind of think about this area here, the breastbone area, the middle part here. If you're in a dangerous situation, that's where I'd like for you to strike. if it's available, okay? Because then you can incapacitate somebody by breaking their breastbone, and then you can kind of yell fire and run. Um, so um, so striking can actually be a split because we can break things by striking. Um, so it can fall under this category. Okay. So we say we have 4 square energies and 4 diagonal energies. Our 4 square energies ward off, roll back, press, and push. Our diagonal energies are the rest. These are diagonal. And when we deflect, Yang Family Tai Chi is known for its big circular movements. So we use the circles to redirect energy away from us. And when we go to issue energy, we are using a straight line. So when somebody comes to hit you, okay, if somebody were to come to hit you, what is, teachers, you are not allowed to say anything, okay? You're not allowed to answer. All right. What is the first thing that we are doing when somebody comes to attack us? That's right, Chichin, but we have to wait for the others to answer.
We connect.
We connect. That's the first thing that you must do in order to affect another person's body, is we in Tai Chi have to connect. See, now the dogs are getting very excited about that because they love connecting with people. And we always connect in a soft way. So where it doesn't draw that kind of attention to somebody, it's like if somebody were to hit us, we're not going to meet force with force. We're going to allow that energy to come towards us. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, Tai Chi is based on what theory?
Martial art.
I'm sorry?
Martial art.
Martial art theory. That's correct. Okay. But
Yin Yang,
I'm sorry?
Yin Yang.
Yin and Yang.
Karen, you've been to this class before. I
No,
know.
I haven't, but I've been listening.
Okay, good. Tai Chi is based on Yin Yang theory. All right. How are you doing Yin and Yang in the form? How are you
Turning
doing?
hands in different directions.
Okay. All right, very good.
Hands and feet.
Hands and feet. Okay. So what are your feet? What is your lower body doing, Nedra?
Well, it's moving.
Okay. And how is it moving? What direction are you going?
The way our hands are.
The way your legs are,
Yeah.
your lower body.
Okay. I can't see that.
Okay, that's good.
What is it?
Forward and
Oh,
back.
forward. Oh, the steps.
Yes.
Forward, backward.
Forward and backward. Okay. So if we think of forward and backward, why do we have forward and backward?
To match our hands.
Okay, to match your hands. But how does that fall under the theory of Tai Chi?
It's circle.
Okay, it's circular.
Backward is being receptive or yin.
Oh,
and
connection.
yang.
All right, Ronald, you get a star. It is because we're going forward and back. This is yin and yang. All right. So if you can do this motion, forward and back, forward and back. In its essence, you are doing Tai Chi. If you can do this movement, shift left, shift right, shifting side to side, you are doing, in essence, Tai Chi. Why? Ronald, you're not allowed to say.
Yin Yang.
That's exactly right, Nedra. Because
Woohoo!
it shows yin and yang, right? So the Chinese believe everything is, in life is yin and yang, right? So we have young and old, we have up and down, we have forward and back, we have left and right, right? Okay. So in Tai Chi, we say, if I want you to go forward, I first have to make you go
Backwards.
Back,
I want you to go right, I first have to make you go.
left.
That's exactly right. Okay. So when you progress forward, learning how to do circling patterns with a partner, then you will learn how to apply these type of scenarios, yin yang, scenarios with a partner. Okay. So my original thing that I wanted to share with you is when we meet up with an opponent, all right, we meet and greet them. And then we let them do it. We connect with them. We join with them. Okay. We're not gonna forcibly stop them. We're gonna join with them because in Tai Chi we say, I cannot affect you unless I can touch you. But once I touch you, yay for me. That's good news for me, okay? So the saying in Tai Chi is, if you don't move, I don't move. But once you move, I will arrive first. Let me repeat. If you don't move, I don't move. But once you move, I will arrive first. Okay. So that kind of takes a little bit of thinking, right? It's like,
Competition.
how can a person arrive first when they did not initiate the movement, right? Because when somebody comes to attack us, we join with them. Then we take their energy and we move it away from our body. So ladies, all you need to know is how to do this: forward and back, left and right, forward and back, left and right, or right and left. Okay. Cloud hands is like that, right? We're going right and we're going left, right? So we have kind of built up this boundary, especially for us women. We have worked very, very hard and for a long time to establish our space. This is my space. And some people can come in my space, but if I don't know you, I then have to determine, do I let you in the gate? And if I let you in the gate, am I going to allow you to knock on my door? Am I going to open my door and invite you in? We get to determine that. But one of the things that as women we've learned is to I do this better when I have somebody here with me. I want you to think about in your mind, and I want you to kind of close your eyes and kind of stay kind of calm right now. Just kind of close your mind and just kind of go to your nice peaceful place. All right. And it could be a nice waterfall. It could be at the seashore. I love water. It could be in front of your sink doing dishes because I love being around water. Okay. It could be a nice, peaceful time. And now I want you to see someone running up to you like they want to hit you. What's the first thing that your body's going to do?
Ortos.
Go back.
You're going to go back. All right. And Rebecca, what did you say?
Ward off, protect.
You're gonna ward off, okay. What's the first physical thing your body's gonna do
Connect.
when you think about somebody running up to you and trying to hit you? Are you gonna stay relaxed? Are you gonna be at your nice, peaceful place? What's going to change in your body?
Your
How's
energy.
your body going to respond? How's your breathing going to respond?
Rapid breathing.
Rapid breathing, okay, because now we're kind of on alert, right, Nedra? We're on alert.
Yes,
Okay, oh my God, somebody's coming, they're going to try to hit me, right?
yes.
What else happens to your body?
Difference.
You have
Tense
your,
Elizabeth, what did you say?
It stiffens. You
brace.
breathe out.
Yes, yes. We become stiff, we become tense, our stomach
what is
tight,
that
right?
they took out, Mitch, of my back, on my kidney? Oh, adrenaline.
Okay, okay. All right, yes, our body gets filled with adrenaline. But the first response our body's gonna have is we're gonna kind of do this. And we're gonna tighten up, and our breath, we're gonna kind of suck everything in, and we're gonna get tight. And the moment you do that, that's when you're breakable. The moment you tense up, the moment you become tight, the moment you hold your breath, that is the moment that they've won. Okay, so here's what I want you to think about. You probably have never been in this situation, but we've heard stories, right? A drunk driver, and you know, he's driving and he's quite inebriated, all right? And he gets in an accident and there's a bunch of people in the car. What happens to the people in the car?
They get hurt.
They get hurt, right? Why, Rebecca? Why did they get hurt?
They're stiff. They're nervous.
They're nervous. They can kind of see what's coming down the road, right? Oh my
Yeah.
God, we're gonna get in an accident. Yay! You know, brace yourselves, right? What happens to the drunk driver?
Nothing.
Why?
Because he's relaxed. He's
It's
drunk.
relaxed.
Relaxed. All right, so I want you guys to think about that. So the first thing that we must do on a martial art level is to connect with our opponent. Once we connect with our opponent, you know, we can move forward to meet and greet them, and then we can move back to deflect them away. So ladies, all you need to do is go forward and back and turn and move that energy away from your body. So there's a saying, and the saying goes something like this. For every 1,000 pounds of energy you direct towards me, I will only use 4 ounces.
Mm.
And if you think about that, it kind of doesn't make sense, right? How can we deflect 1,000 pounds by only using 4 ounces of ourselves? How can that happen?
You
Don't
can
resist.
really pull out.
We are not resisting. That's correct. That is absolutely correct. And we are using their energy. They want to come forward. What's the opposite of forward? We go back. They're coming straight. What's the opposite of straight? Diagonal. Right? So we just need to go back. First we need to connect. Then we go back and we deflect that energy away from our body. All right. And all the while maintaining a body structure. You know, there's a saying in Tai Chi, and they say that Tai Chi is kind of like trying to find a needle in a bale of cotton. You're going like this. And then when you find it, you know it's there, right? Because it'll poke you, right? So they say with Tai Chi, our outside body looks soft and nice and fluffy, but on the inside, it's as hard as steel. So we have to make sure that we're breathing correctly, that we don't tighten up our stomach, that we don't tense up our muscles. The moment you do, remember, you lose. You become breakable. And at our age, we don't like thinking about breaking things, okay? So, we're doing Tai Chi to help build muscle mass so that, initially our legs get stronger. When you have stronger legs, you're going to have a longer life, and you're going to have overall better health. Medical science has started doing studies on, the strength of our legs determines our health and longevity. And so one of the tests, and you can do this, you don't have to do this in front of me, but like in all your spare time at home, because we know how much spare time we have nowadays, right? Is sit on the floor and then get up off the floor and time yourself and watch yourself. How are you getting off the floor? Are you crawling to get someplace to, have the furniture help you get off the floor, and then you're able to stand up? That's good news. All right. Because what you don't want happen is to be stuck on the floor. All right. So Tai Chi initially, we know, develops our legs, our quads. Our quads are the second biggest muscles we have in our body. We sit on the first. Okay. So, try it. And hopefully over time, you will see that you're able to get off the floor maybe a little quicker without, crawling too far, or maybe, getting on your hands and knees and stepping instead of crawling, to get to furniture or something. We take it in baby steps, but you should see progress. Okay. So, going back to these 13 postures, the 13 postures is named the 13 postures. Why? Because it's the original name of Tai Chi Chuan.
Yeah.
8 energies. Go through the form. We start off with ward off, then we go to roll back, press and push. Then we have single whip, grabbing and pulling. When we go like this and we turn, we're grabbing and pulling somebody to deflect them away from us. Then we have raise hands and step forward, split energy. Single whip can also be split energy. Then we have a shoulder strike, white crane spreads its wings. Then we have an elbow, parry, block, and punch. Okay. Or when you get on to the second and third section, we have a punch down. Anytime we make a fist, this motion here, we can strike with the elbow. Okay. So this is not really pulled out very much, but we know we can do this. All right. Does anybody have any questions? All right. So let me ask you this final question. Do you know the 13 postures? I'm not asking what they are. If somebody came up to you right now and said to you, hey, Sharon, do you know the 13 postures? Your answer is going to be, yes. Yes, I do. All right. Well, what are the 13 postures? Well, as a matter of fact, they're comprised of 8 energies and 5 steps. Well, what are the energies? Well, here they are. What are the 5 steps? Here they are. Okay, well, that's great. You're welcome. Okay. So what you have accomplished in the first section, do not underestimate your work because you've done a lot. You have covered the 13 postures. All right. Anybody have any questions?
Can you just tell me again, you said 4 of them are square energies and then the other 4 are what kind of energy?
Diagonal.
Diagonal. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Isn't Tai Chi exciting?
Yes.
I mean, you're learning things, and sometimes, Master Yang has said to me, you need to look at the bigger picture. This is the bigger picture of first section. But how are you going to know this? Because our first job as instructors for you is to teach you these movements so that you can do these movements. And hopefully you can remember the names of the movements, okay? That's the second job, okay? Your first job is to learn the gross movements that you can get through the first section. Second job, memorize the sequence. Oh, and you know what? When you get into the second section, that'll be kind of challenging. When you get in the third section, that'll be a little more challenging, okay? Memorizing the sequence. That's why they call it the long form, because it's long, okay? However, there are 103 movements in this form total, but there are only 36 different movements. That tells you what you learn here is going to be repeated, all right? Now, I will say that there's one movement in the first section that will never, ever come up again. Do you know what that is?
Prepare. Strum salute.
That's right, Michelle. Why? Because you already know them other sections, okay? So yes, hand-strum salute is unique to the first section, all right? So that's the only time it'll come up. So congratulations, everybody. You have completed the first section. You have completed the 13 postures. You know this. You know this. Now, oftentimes, because the first section is so important, because it is the foundation of everything we need to know going forward, that oftentimes students will move forward in the second section, and then when we start a first section, they will jump into the first section as well. So you're learning something new, re-emphasizing something you already know, okay? And we're going to be starting a first section class June, Dee Dee? In June.
June.
And it's going to be on Mondays and Saturdays. So we're going to eliminate the practice session, but you're going to have 2 days during the week. If you missed a Monday, you can go to Saturday or vice versa. All right. Or if you want to go to both classes, they're going to be working in conjunction with each other. So, you can just reemphasize that as well. So anyway, that's what we've got coming up for you guys. Do you have any other questions? No? Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed learning about all the things that you guys now know. The 13 postures is very important. Congratulations again for learning the first section. Okay, so I'll turn you back over to Judy.
Thank you so much.
All right.
You're
Well,
welcome
thank you,
so much.
Nancy. On
thank
behalf
you.
of everybody is saying thank you, but I'll say thank you as well. So, just a couple of announcements before we close the class. Although this had the feeling of great conclusion, we do have a few more classes. And in the classes coming up, we have completed studying the first section in entirety, but we're going to review. You'll have plenty of opportunity to ask for help with moves that are particularly challenging, but we will go through it to practice segments of it fairly systematically so that we can practice it all together. I'd also like to remind people who want more Section 1 practice, Rita is still doing the 11 o'clock class. I think I better check with Rita on that to make sure she's still doing it. Is Rita still here? Rita, are you still doing it? Yes. Okay, Rita's still doing Tuesday at 11 for the next couple weeks. And on Saturday at 10 o'clock, we do 15 minutes of Section 1. It's a very focused 15 minutes. We get to go through the whole form, and then we work on one part of it repetitively. So it's a very good practice, and I would invite any of you to that. Those of you who know more of the form, we do go on to sections 2 and sections 3 to practice portions of that before we do each section in entirety. So you're invited to all of those, all right? So I hope you'll come for the next couple of weeks while we can practice section 1 together. And then maybe I think it'll be really, really enjoyable for you next time we do the full section. You're going to hear Nancy's words in your head. Every time we come to a move, you're going to hear that energy. You're going to go, oh, that's an energy. And every time I go shift left, shift right, you're going to go, oh, that's a step. So it's going to mean a lot to you, I think, the next time we do the whole form. Remember that you can always practice with the recordings as well. If you want to be led through the whole form, the recordings are on, and we'll get this one up as well. So any final questions? Otherwise, we will close class. If you have any questions that you
I
need
have a quick
answered.
question. Did the
Yes.
recording start early enough to capture you doing the first section?
Well, usually it does. Rita, did it get
Mm,
started?
No, I didn't start it until just before your introduction to Nancy
Oh, okay. Sorry about that,
because I
Ronald.
lost internet.
Oh, okay. Rita messaged me, but I didn't know it was there, so I couldn't start it. But Ronald, we do have others where I've gone through the whole form. I will find which
Right.
one.
I found several, but what I haven't found is one from the being recorded from the back, which I thought was really helpful.
Oh, there should be some. So I'll tell you
Okay.
what, if I can't find it, I will record Saturday when I do it because I do it that way.
Okay,
And
wonderful.
okay, and make sure
Thank you.
I'll write that down and get that in for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. And then also next week we'll be recording and we'll be doing it that way at beginning and end of class. So,
Okay.
all right. Okay. All right. Well, let's close class with our salute. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to Nancy for bringing us this class today. See you soon.
Thank you, Judy.
Okay.
Thanks,
Any
Judy.
questions? I'm
Thanks,
here for moments.
Nancy.